When you go to an Ivey Academy course or program, there's a huge benefit in learning from others.
Having different perspectives, different experiences, expertise from different industries, I found extremely valuable.
We've invested pretty heavily in learning the kind of features and tools and capabilities of the platforms and have adapted our teaching style to make it work.
Initially, I thought that interacting through technology would be very impersonal. The surprise is how intimate it can be. This format gives us some opportunities for engagement that perhaps we didn't have before and that are pertinent for the times that we're living in.
I really had an open mind on how this was going to work, but I would say I was very confident that it was going to be a good product based on my past experience with Ivey.
We do everything we can to try to ignite and create the atmosphere we have in our classroom, the energy, the interactivity.
The atmosphere in those sessions was excellent. Probably better than I had expected. The Professor Rob would deliberately make an effort to engage people. Got people comfortable talking in the group early. And there was some good interactions between the various participants, not just a one-way communication.
They were well coordinated, very, very seamless. At one point, I even put a comment in the chat and went, wow, that was way too easy. And it made for a better experience.
Another thing we were able to do that we would never have been able to do in previous years is I had different guests come in from afar.
Bringing in, kind of those special speakers, somebody that really can drive home a point or has, very recognized expertise in an area to talk about a subject.
We're able to share a lot of information. You bring more to the table for some of our programs.
The variety of tools you can use in Zoom, from polling to debates.
Even putting up a PowerPoint slide and being able to develop content together, to have deep, intense conversations, but sometimes just to have some fun too.
So we do a lot of, things like breakout groups and other ways of creating a community. We literally talk about engineering social networking and fun into our programs. It really works.
It allows you to connect more intimately with some of the peers from different industries, or ask a thoughtful question, or connect it to your industry in the chat, which helped create that engagement.
They can build on other people's thoughts and engage in aspects of the conversation that perhaps they wouldn't have been able to do during the live sessions in person.
How exciting is that? Because now we can develop more quickly, have more in-depth conversations, deepen the learning.
I do think it's important to take time for personal development and personal growth, especially during this strange time that we're living in.
We have to manage change almost on an ongoing basis, rethinking your strategy potentially. How do we do that? How do we get people to be able to do that?
And sometimes we might not have those tools in our toolkit. So taking advantage of learning opportunities can really help spark that trigger in us to be better leaders.
You also have to take that time to step out of your comfort zone, get stretched a little bit by your peers, by really great faculty members, and by a new context.
Leaders need to invest in capabilities to respond to the times. If you think about it, maybe there's no better time to do it.
And one of the things I thought about is the virtual makes it so easy to fit it in.
The virtual online version just allowed us to, continue with your regular day.
It fits in my calendar really, really easy. It's really flexible.
Now that we're interspersing executive education experiences with the day-to-day job, there's an opportunity to integrate it better.
Your utilization of virtual technology is a way to do that. Keep people safe, keep people healthy and well, but still have their professional learning be increased and have them develop.
We're in a very different space in the world right now where we're having to figure out new ways to do things.
I hope that what we end up with is an integrated hybrid that's better than what we were doing before.
It's such an impressive, diverse group. Having that network that you can tap into and engage and say, hey, you know what? We talked about it in the program. What have you been doing? What has that journey been like?
There's something nice about that, about how people can use technology to connect with one another in ways that we hadn't really thought about before.